a business owner creating YouTube videos and wondering like, why the hell are my videos not picking up any views? And like, why isn't the algorithm helping me out in this situation? Or like, my topics are really sound. Like, why am I not getting people actually clicking on it? My clients love it. My advice is solid. And there's actually a really easy explanation for this. And when I realized this, it was like the difference between getting just under 100 views for my clients to now thousands, if not tens of thousands of views. And what's more important is actually leads to then exponential results when it comes to lead flow and revenue for your business as well. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what the reason is and the simple solution that you can actually take in order to get results for your videos instead. In case you don't know who I am, my name's Ken Huang. I run a YouTube agency called Social Wave, and we've been helping hundreds of business owners over the last 5 years generate lead and revenue for their businesses and also personal brands as well. In my YouTube video, I actually share some of the learnings that come along the way so that it can help you obviously take the next steps around YouTube. All right, let's get into it. So let's break this down. I'm going to actually be talking about this concept called remarkability decay. And this is the main reason why your videos are not performing well. So we're going to need to define things a little bit and explain exactly what remarkability is and what decay is as well. So what is remarkability? Remarkability is basically these ideas that make someone stop and go like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? So something that stands out essentially, right? Let's talk about remarkability. What does remarkability mean? Or what does remarkable mean? Basically means worthy of attention. That's the actual definition that I actually checked on Google and actually explains that exactly. And so YouTube is an attention game. So if you can't grab attention, then fundamentally it's not remarkable as well. So then what is the definition of decay? Decay is essentially something that rots or decomposes over time, okay? Or the state or process of rotting or decomposition. So we're not talking about biology here, but we are talking about the concept around remarkability in decay. So if you string those two together, what it basically fundamentally explains is the idea or the novelty of the idea no longer actually basically works. So I'll give you an example. So basically the idea of remarkability decay is this idea is that whatever makes your video worth clicking, watching, and talking about has inherent decay or a half-life. So it sort of runs out over time. Now here's the problem, right? What was remarkable about 5 years ago or even like 5 months ago isn't anymore. So for example, if you're the first mortgage broker to talk about lender's mortgage insurance, you're pretty remarkable. But if you're the 100th one, you're forgettable, right? Or if you're the first accountant to break down tax structures for business owners, super valuable. The next 50, just noise. And this is what we call remarkability decay. So when once fresh topics become so overdone, like they no longer generate curiosity or tension or trust. And if your content starts to blend in with everyone else's, it ends up becoming invisible as well. So it's not about being wrong, it's about being predictable. And YouTube actually punishes predictable content, or should I say more specifically, your audience actually punishes predictable content, especially in spaces where you're the expert or expert-led spaces. You might be thinking, hey, this is what my clients ask about. Isn't that what I should make videos about as well? I get it, like it feels logical, but YouTube is not a logic machine. It's what we call a curiosity machine. It rewards content that sparks attention, novelty, and value beyond expectations. So just to give you an analogy, imagine someone stands on a street corner yelling, hey, here's how a mortgage works. So the first time you walk by, you might stop and listen. By the 10th time, you tune out. And then by the 100th, you cross the street. Like you don't want to deal with this guy whatsoever. That's what the YouTube viewer does every single day. They're not just looking for information, they're looking for transformation, surprise, or an insight they didn't see coming. And in fact, there is actually a chart that I can show you that looks exactly like this. You can see there's a graph here, right? And I'll explain it one more time. It's like remarkability decay is when an audience is exposed to an idea too much. So the idea could have been remarkable, but after seeing a lot of other creators do it, it becomes normal and boring again. So this is the reason why saturated ideas slowly stop getting many views over time. And actually saturation has an inverse relationship with remarkability. So after people stop using the idea, it actually becomes remarkable again, and then the cycle continues. So if you have a look here, the green line refers to remarkability, the red line refers to saturation. You can see they're sort of opposites, right? So when something is high remarkability or really interesting, then you'll see that generally speaking, the rule of thumb is that saturation is quite low, meaning there's not many people who've done the topic before or the packaging or the idea before. The inverse is that when remarkability is very low, then saturation generally is very high, which means heaps of people actually do it. Therefore, it is no longer remarkable as well. So maybe just to break down remarkability a little bit more, there's a few components that I sort of define when it comes to remarkability. The first one is novelty factor. Is this something that's inherently novel or unique? Is it a unique approach to a common problem? Are there unexpected results or findings? Is there like a new methodology or framework that you have when it comes to this? Or do you have like a contrarian perspective when it comes to this particular topic as well? Sometimes even if you have original research or data, that tends to actually help with remarkability of the same topic as well. Then, for example, we talk about value proposition, which is another component where if you have a clear transformation promise, that means like things like I'm going to get you a specific outcome or result, or there's like a tangible benefit, or there's a very defined process or a proven methodology, generally speaking, that's what then results in remarkability as well. Third one is credibility. So if you have credibility elements in your video, so these are things like what we call authority indicators, demonstrate that, real results are achieved, or you've got a unique experience, or you've got verifiable proof, or just clear expertise. These are, for example, some of the things that we can also demonstrate to add that level of remarkability to an idea as well. So what that basically means in this case is that you really want to make sure that your videos actually fundamentally are unique and are not saturated, and you don't look like everyone else as well. Doesn't mean that you can't do the topics that you want to do. It just means you have to package it up a little bit more interestingly as well. So the question is, how do you escape remarkability decay? So here's the good news, right? You don't need to ditch the topic. You just need to reframe it. Let's say, for example, how to write an invoice. That's pretty boring, right? So you don't really want to do a topic like that. But instead, you can say something like, I analyzed 127 invoices and found the number one thing that gets you paid faster. All of a sudden, you can see here that the packaging is actually changed and has become more remarkable. Here's another example. How to pay yourself from your company. Again, might be remarkable, might not, right? So if a lot of people end up doing that topic, then you're going to end up having a situation where you look like everyone else. So instead, you can say something like, most business owners are paying themselves wrong. Here's how to fix it without triggering the tax office. Last one is, what is lender's mortgage insurance? So if you're a mortgage broker or a loan officer, so instead of saying that, you might say something like, why some property investors never pay lender's mortgage insurance, how they do it, and what it means for you. So again, you can just see that's another example. So what changed? What we fundamentally added was we added things like tension, contrast. We made it really curiosity driven, right? So remarkable content isn't always about going bigger. It's actually about going sharper. You need to add novelty. You need to reveal a pattern. You want to share a contrarian insight. You want to tell a specific story. If it would make someone ask a question at a dinner party, you're on the right track. So I've got a 3-step process that you can actually take immediately and apply that basically to your topic when you come up with it for your next video. The first one is do what's called the dinner party test. So if you said your video out loud to a friend, they ask a follow-up question or they ignore it. If it's not ready yet. The idea is not remarkable enough. Number 2 is you run what's called a competition check. So you search your title on YouTube. Has this already been done by a ton of people? Has everyone seen it? Has it been done to death? Is it basically saturated? And if so, your job is either to make it sharper, more specific, or more insightful than what's out there as well. So one up everyone in that situation. And the last one is ask yourself, what is the real tension of the idea here or the video? Tension is what turns a topic into a clickable idea. So if there's no tension, there is no attention. So that's really critical to understand, because without that, your video is not going to get views and clicks. Hopefully you found that helpful. And fundamentally, the key takeaway here is to understand that you can talk about the topics that you always wanted to talk about, but don't package it up the same way as everyone else, right? Have a unique angle, have a new way to say it, maybe have a contrarian way to think about it. So if you're tired of making content that feels helpful, but never leads to clients, or if you're serious about building a YouTube channel that actually converts, then this is basically what I do every day. And I help service-based businesses turn underperforming YouTube channels into lead machines, and without, sort of dancing or trending audio and none of that stupid stuff. And you don't need to chase virality as well. If you want to see how we could apply this to your channel, hit the link in the description below and let's figure out what's really holding your content back and what to do instead. I'll see you on the next video.